What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Dallas Kramer, and today I am bringing you a brand new show called The Hitlist, which is basically a top 5, top 10, top 25, whatever top number I want it to be, of whatever topics I like. For instance, today I am bringing you the top 10 Mario games. Some of them y'all may agree to, some of them y'all may be like, how's that not a part of the top 10? If there's any Mario game that is not in the top 10 that you want to see in the top 10, write down in the comments below and I'll see if it deserved to be in the top 10 or not, or at least in the top 20, 25. But anyways, with that being said, let's get it going. Alright, number 10 on the list. I gotta put this one in because if I don't put this one in, I'm definitely gonna get a lot of people like, what the hell? So, number 10. The OG Super Mario Brothers. I'm talking 1985 Super Mario Brothers, baby. There's just so much respect you gotta give this game because this game, it really revolutionized platform gaming, and if it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have a billion Mario games. And out of all the Mario games, there's been quite a few very good games come around. This one definitely is just an incredible game. Number 9 has to be to Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now, don't get me wrong, Super Mario Galaxy 1 was an incredible game, and it really brought a new perspective to the basic, overused plot of Mario. But it's basically the same plot, but it's different planets. You're out in space, it's different planets, and yes, you could say, well, shouldn't Super Mario Galaxy 1 get it since that was the one that revolutionized it? Could be, but this is my list and I'm saying 2 because 2 was the first one that I played a lot on. Thank you, Felicia, for texting me during the video. 2 was the first one that I played a lot on. I played a little bit of 1, and 2 was really the one that helped introduce me to this world. Number 8 is Super Mario Brothers 3. Now this one, they had Super Mario Brothers 1, the original one, then they had Super Mario Brothers 2 only in Japan that they didn't release to America because supposedly Americans were too dumb basically to be able to play the game was their concept. It was too hard for Americans. So they released it only in Japan. Then later on through the years got released as known as Super Mario Brothers 2 The Lost Levels. But they released to us Super Mario Brothers 2, which was a re-image of another game that they did over there, which a lot of people hated that game, but if it wasn't for that game, we wouldn't have the Shy Guy or a lot of different characters. But we're not talking about Super Mario Bros. 2. It deserves to be on the list. It's just hard to tell if it deserves to be on the top 10 list. I would say probably number 11 if it was on the list. Super Mario Bros. 3 is an incredible game. It really took what a lot of people loved about the first one and some things about the second one and took it in its own direction. This is the first time we see a map for the different levels that got used on pretty much every kind of Mario game that was later released, including later on Super Mario World. And there was so many different power-ups you can do. This is really the first time we get to see all these different power-ups besides just the grow mushroom and, the shrink mushroom. So many power-ups come from this. The Tuniki suit, which was this basically raccoon-looking animal, but apparently a Tuniki is an animal that I believe was, I may be wrong, but I believe is an animal that was in Japan. But later on, animal rights activists said, there's an animal suit, so they probably killed it and blah, blah, blah. So they ended up taking the Tuniki suit out of the games from later on. It was an incredible game, and I love it so much, and it deserves to be on this list. Number 7. Now, I can't do a top 10 Mario games without adding a Super Smash Bros. Game in it. Now, that being said, I have to add the latest one, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, just because it's such an incredible game. It's something that we liked about all the different Super Smash Bros. And they kind of put it into one game. And there's 70 different characters. 70 different characters in this game. So it's the reason why it's called Ultimate. It's just so ultimate that they can't have Waluigi in there for some reason. I don't know. There's still DLC. They better put him in eventually. But yeah, this is an incredible game. If you love these kind of brawler fighting Super Smash Bros. Kind of games, you'll love this game. And I really recommend trying out the new one. It's pretty freaking amazing. Number 6 is, again, we can't add a Mario game list without adding a Mario Kart game in it. And the first Mario Kart game that I really got into as a kid, and I still think is one of the best Mario games ever, is Mario Kart 64. Now, Mario Kart 64 was incredible because the first one was Super Mario Kart, which, again, great game, but this is the first time we got to see revolutionary style graphics. And we look back on them now, and we're so unappreciative at what the graphics were, because these days, I mean, it's hard to compare. But back in the day, man, those graphics were amazing. And they still are pretty cool to look at these days, especially for the nostalgia purposes. And it was just such a fun game to play, and I loved it so much, and I still love to play it today. Number 5. Now, I know we just mentioned a Mario Kart game. I love Mario Kart 64. Still think it's one of the best Mario Karts, but it's not. I'm afraid I have to give that title to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Which, that being said, you could say, okay, Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is basically the same game. True, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has a little bit more to it, and it's for the Switch, not the Wii U, which automatically makes it better. So yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is just a great Mario Kart game, and I highly recommend everyone playing it. Number 4. Now, number 4, there's been so many remakes to this game. As a matter of fact, this was a remake upon remake. It was basically a reboot to the original Super Mario Brothers. It was basically a reboot to that, and this was a remake of that remake. The original remake was known as New Super Mario Bros., which was released for the Nintendo DS. Now, this one is New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Now, after that, they made New Super Mario Bros. Wii U, then they made New Super Luigi Brothers Wii U, and then they made, now they're coming out with New Super Mario Brothers Wii U Deluxe, I think is even called, even though it's for the Switch. It's like, okay, we get it. You keep re-imaging and upping the graphics on the same game. Just stop. At least with this one, the only thing I don't like about this one versus the first remake was it doesn't have the giant mushroom, which I think was very cool on the first reboot. But man, this game was just so amazing, and it came out in 2009, and I loved it. I was 15 when it came out, and it was exactly what I needed and wanted to see for a Mario game to come out. Because at this point, Mario games wasn't coming out as much as they are now. I mean, they were coming out a decent bit, but now there's just like, yeah, there's a Mario game coming out, go figure. But it was very cool to see another Mario game coming out of like this kind of style, a platformer style Mario game. Because 3D games are awesome, but there's just something about platformer games, especially for Mario. You gotta have them. Number 3. Now, number 3 is a very, very, very cool game because, again, just like Super Mario Galaxy did, they changed the game and went to outer space. This one kind of went out of space too, but also it takes Mario in New Donk City, as it's called, but it's basically New York City, and it puts him with other humans, which we don't really see, and they look like big humans. So it just completely changed the game, and you probably know what I'm talking about now, especially if I say this. Y'all know Cappy, you probably know Cappy. Yeah, you're right. I'm talking about Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, a very cool game, very fun to play. Reminds me of a lot of kind of Super Mario 64 mixed with Super Mario Galaxy mixed with its own thing. And it's a very fun game to play. If you love playing Super Mario 64 and you love playing Super Mario Galaxy games, you're going to love playing this game. It's very fun. And I highly recommend. I know I've been saying that on pretty much every game here, but I highly recommend playing this game. Number 2. Now, number 2 is a very special one for me on this list, and number 1 definitely is, but we'll get to that. Number 2 is Super Mario World. Now, when this game came out, it was like revolutionary to a lot of different people, and I didn't get to play it when it first came out because I wasn't born yet. The game came out in, I believe, 91, and I was born in 94. But I first started playing it around roughly 96, 97, when I was very young and not sure exactly how to play it. But as I got older, I got to learn how to play it more. And eventually, me and my now fiance ended up beating it after so many years of not beating it and not playing it all the way through. Which that was very cool and fun to do, especially with my fiance, whom I love so much, whom's sitting on the bed over there. But yeah, this is just such a great game, and it spawned a sequel, which was supposed to be known as a prequel, which was Super Mario Bros. 2, Yoshi's Island, which was a very fun game. And also, me and my fiance also beat that game, but I still just love Super Mario World so much. It's very cool. It has the music itself. The music is just amazing in that game. I mean, as soon as you hear the title card of that game or the first level, you're gonna have that song stuck in your head pretty much the rest of the day. And now, number 1 on the list. Number 1, it is the best game, and I know I mentioned it a few times on this list. Yeah, I'm talking about Super Mario 64. Now, this is the first 3D Mario game, and yeah, I know a lot of people complain about the camera on there, and yeah, the camera was gonky, but it's what they had to work with back in 96, man. And it was, for 1996, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was hard to control, but it was pretty good, and it was fun. And I am proud to say that I have beaten Super Mario 64. It is just by far, in my opinion, the best Mario game ever. And they tried to come back with it with a Super Mario 64 DS, which, don't get me wrong, was really fun. And you could say it's better because they added more things to it, but it's just like, I don't know. I still think the one for Nintendo 64 is the best. So, yeah, Super Mario 64 takes the cake. It takes Peach's cake at the end of almost every game, including this one. It is by far my favorite, and it will probably always will be, because I don't know if Nintendo will ever be able to make a game better than Super Mario 64. That being said, that is my top 10 favorite Mario games. I hope y'all liked this video, and if you did, or even if you didn't, please, I could really use you right now. Please like and subscribe to this video and click that little notification bell, because YouTube algorithm can be kind of aggravating, and sometimes I can upload a video and even though you're subscribed, you don't get a notification and you don't get access to the video. I still am learning and still don't know why that's so, but I do know if you click that notification bell, you don't have to worry about that. So if you click that notification bell and subscribe and like this video, you would make me a very happy man. Maybe even comment down below of what you think I should add into. Maybe there's a Mario game that you think should be added onto the top 10. Maybe you have a favorite. Maybe some of them should have been shifted around to where this one should have been number 1. Let me know down below. Just please be nice. Please don't be an and just about all. I'll see y'all later.